Hi, this is Rochelle at Scrapcraftastic, and I'm going to create another pocket folder, but this time I'm going to show you how I laminate it. It was requested on a previous video, so I'm going to go ahead and show you how I did it. This is the paper I'm going to be using. I'm going to use a sheet from this stack from K & Company. It's like a multimedia look paper. This is the page I'm going to use. I'm pretty sure it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I liked it a lot, and I also even created a little TP album with it. And maybe I should use this. I'm thinking I'm going to use this for my a folder for my personal size traveler's notebook. I think those colors would look nice together. Yes. So, but we're going to do pocket size again today. Again, it's best to have a double-sided paper where it doesn't matter which way the pattern goes, because you're going to fold it over this way or this way. So yeah, this has a map on it, so definitely this will stay on the inside. So first I'm going to trim the paper down. I'm going to trim it down to 8 by 8 1/4. And again, if you need to have it in a certain position, you should go ahead and make sure you line and cut where you need to cut for your design. So that's 8 1/4, and then the other direction we're going to cut at 8. It's hard for me to think about it and talk about it at the same time. Okay. Save the scraps. Then what we want to do is with the 8 side at the top, making sure everything is in the direction that you want it to be. You're going to score in the middle at 4 inches. Then 1/2 inch on the left side. I turn it around. 1/2 inch on what was the right side and is now the left side. So you have 1/2 inch, 4 inch, 1/2 inch. Then we're going to score at 2 3/4 inches on the long side. This is the part that will fold up. And I scored a little too much right there, but we're going to cut that part out. So then you take your ruler and you're going to find the center score. And we're going to, I know I'm doing this in a different order than in the previous video, but going to find the center, and we're going to measure 1/2 inch from the center. So 1/2 inch on either side of the center. Then it's hard to see with this paper, but you're going to connect those 1/2 inch tick marks. I'm going to have to get closer so I can see it. 1/2 inch tick marks to the center, where your center of your 2 3/4 score and your 4 inch score meet. So just going to draw a light little line there. And here. Okay. We need to cut off these 2 3/4 inch by 1/2 inch flaps. You cut inside, slightly inside of the score mark. Okay. I can't really see this on this like this, so I'm going to have to use this side. And what I didn't do on the previous video is measure this. You don't have to measure your miters. I just want to do that because I have to be extra sometimes. So I'm measuring a 1/4 inch miter and drawing a line so that I know where to cut, because like I said, I have to be a little bit extra sometimes. It's just a thing I have with measurements. I don't know what it is, but okay. So now I'm going to cut my miters also. There you have it. That way they'll be the same on both sides. And you won't have to guess at it. You'll know. Okay. So, and then I'm going to go ahead and cut out the triangle. And I'm sorry about my bracelet click-clacking all the time. I really don't want to take it off. I never take it off. I'll try to be more mindful of it. Clickety-clacking everywhere. And I do have a habit of just dropping stuff on the desk. So that's the basic shape of your pocket folder. There's several things you can do in addition, like you could round or miter these corners. It's up to you. I think I've done it several ways. It just depends on how I feel at the time. Yeah, see, I folded this first and then rounded it. I rounded it, then folded it and rounded it again here. Yeah. I also did the extra miter here on this one, which I need to do here as well, but we'll do that after we fold. And let's see, I made others where I just rounded everything. So it's really up to you how you want it to look. This one, we're going to go ahead and fold our flaps up, our pocket up, and score. And score. Not score, but crease our score. And we're going to go ahead and fold it in half just to make sure we got everything lined up properly. Now we're going to fold these flaps over to make sure that we cut enough off. Yes, we did. And fold this one over. So now here is where I made a bit of a change. I think most of the time when you see these, there is no space here, no line here, no cut here. I like to put a cut there. So how I do it is I'm going to do a measured miter. I'm going to find the center where the flap and the tab and the bottom pocket flap meet. I'm going to mark the center, basically. Yep. Then I'm going to measure 1/8 of an inch on either side of the center and connect those dots to make a triangle that I will cut out to somewhat miter that corner or that edge. Yes. So again, do the same thing on the other side. Mark where the tab and the bottom flap meet. Then on the other edge of the tab, mark 1/8 of an inch on either side of that center and connect your dots. Or you can eyeball it if you're an eyeballer. Just eyeball it. Yeah. Now I'm going to cut out those 2 miters. And I usually cut like on the outside edge of my pencil mark, so I don't have to worry about erasing anything much. I don't have my kneaded eraser, and I don't want to risk using a regular pencil eraser to ruin the paper. So, okay, so we cut out those little areas. So now when you glue these down, you'll still have extra room here so that your paper can go all the way to the edge or whatever you choose to put in your pocket. Okay, otherwise it would have stopped right here. Because I'm going to laminate this, I am going to, yes, go ahead and round the corners, because the laminate can be very sharp, and instead of having pointed corners, I want to make sure I'm not going to be stabbing myself, so I'm going to round the corners. And I'm going to use my crocodile to do that. Should I glue it together first? I think I will do that first. Let me get my working board so that I don't get glue. And I'm going to try these new glue sticks that I hauled yesterday. See how I like them. This is an extra strength craft bond, permanent bond, acid free, photo safe. So let's see how this works. I've never used a glue stick for crafting. This might just be the perfect solution. Wow, not bad. That's not bad at all. Easy to get to the edges, not like score tape where you have to put either, this thing is annoying, I'm sure. It's not like the score tape where you have to put multiple lines of it, or have to have the correct size on hand for your tab. So that works out pretty nice. There we have it. Now let's go ahead and round these corners. I'm going to use the 1/2 inch rounder. Guess it would help if I opened it. Okay. Let's start at the top. Now, that's what you have. Now, because of the bands, I also am going to round the fold, the center fold, so that there's not so much pressure on the paper and the laminate. It kind of relieves some of the pressure, and it makes it nice and neat and rounded on all 4 sides of your rectangle. Okay, this is what you have. So once you've built the folder, you basically just laminate the whole thing. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in the pouch, opened up. Oops, I crinkled it. Let's just open my pouch, put the folder in here, open. And I'm not going to put it all the way to the edge so that I can cut it. I mean, while we were doing that, I was warming up my laminator. Yes, it's kind of ancient looking, but it still works. So let's go ahead and feed this through. Okay, this is not as straight as I would like it to be. I'm not going to get hung up on that right now. Okay, so you're just going to feed this through the laminator. And I usually feed through twice just to make sure that everything is tightly sealed. So then we'll run it through again, flip it over one more time. Okay, so I've run it through twice. I'm going to cut this off, put it out of the way. And what I usually do is I always save this excess because it's pretty thick and it will make a nice cover for a shaker card or shaker something. So anyway, what I do is line this up. You don't want to cut inside of this little air bubble around because that will break the seal. So I just cut slightly outside of that to cut off the excess. And I'm going to try to do this without messing it up with this cutter. So again, save your excess. Make a nice shaker card or dashboard or something with that. And let's see, I could have cut a little closer, but I didn't want to risk it. Let's see if we can get a little closer this time. Make sure you're pressing down good with your cutter if you decide to use a cutter to do this, because of the laminate, it will slip. Okay, so let's just see if we can keep this straight. So I'm just cutting the excess off all the way around. And again, you can do this with scissors as well if you don't want to risk making a mess with the cutter, as I have done plenty of times before. So it's just a little extra edge. I'm going to clean up some of these edges a little bit. Okay, I'm going to leave well enough alone now. Okay, go ahead and round these corners again. Half-inch side. And I could have probably cut this a little closer, but we're not going to worry about that right now. So we need to redo our fold. You can't really score this, but you kind of just work it. And I think probably the best thing to do is to put a ruler there and fold up against the ruler. Yeah, that works better. So you recreate your fold. And you could score this just a little bit with the scissors. By that I mean, let's try some other scissors. Nope, these don't even open far enough. By scoring, I mean you can take your ruler and lightly press with the scissors to kind of break the laminate there in the crease, or not. I mean, it depends on how much it bothers you that this doesn't stay closed by itself. And if you do that, I would recommend probably doing it on the outside. But again, you're breaking the laminate, which that is what we're going to do to open our pockets. So to open your pocket, you have to line your ruler up, and it's best to use something with a metal edge. And where's my metal ruler? Because I don't really like this side of this ruler that has the metal. I'm going to use my metal ruler for this. My ancient metal ruler. Okay. So we're going to line that up. You can use an Exacto blade for this, or your scissors. I'm going to go ahead and use a blade. I'm fickle. I don't know what I want to do. I was going to do the scissors, but let's do the blade. And you lightly press down. If you press too hard, you'll cut through not only the laminate but the paper. And just, you have to really make sure you have this lined up well and know where you're starting and ending. So you lightly stroke through the laminate. And see, I can hear the paper. So, okay. You can feel it once you hit paper, so it's best to do multiple strokes. Do it lightly, with light pressure, and multiple strokes. Is my head in the camera? I'm sorry. And then you should be able to just pop that open and not make a mess like I'm doing. There you go. Now, you can either let's go all the way to the edge. I didn't do that. There we go. So now that opens your pocket. And I might have cut a little too close to the edge, but you get the idea. It's gonna probably take a little experimenting, a little testing to get it just right, but it can be done. Let's do the other side here. Just lightly, light pressure. Okay. And I think I probably messed that up while trying to pick it up too soon. It's not really messed up. It's just, like I said, I have to be a little bit extra. And lightly press. Okay, see. There we go. So there you have it. Yes, the inside of the pocket is not laminated, but the bulk of the wear and tear will be on the outside. Oh, I guess it will help if I round these corners too. Yeah. So yeah, the bulk of the wear and tear is on the outside, and you should be fine without these inside parts being laminated. So then you can just pop it in to your pocket-sized traveler's notebook, and there you have it. A laminated pocket-sized pocket folder. See? I hope this wasn't too scatterbrained for you, and that you're able to kind of follow along and understand what I said. And yeah, if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Talk to you later. Bye.